going on, everybody? Welcome back to OperaAmerica. Yes, it is I, Anna. I am an opera singer, and I am here to opera up your life. We are back from a very long summer. The last video I uploaded was from June 7th, and today is September 19th. So it's been a hot second. If this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Anna, and I'm gonna be your guide today for this opera news. We're having a little summer recap. Lots and lots of things happened this summer in the opera world. Like it says in the title, this summer was chaos, and not always in a really good way. But you know what? What else is new? I'm fully committed to just receiving bad news until the end of the 2020 decade. That's where we are. That's what's happening. My little dramatic opera sleeves. Woo. Before we get started, I have lots of new content to bring to you guys, new ideas that I've come up with, of course, new Aria Explained, singers side by side, obviously vlogs and news, and brand new on the channel this season are challenges. No spoilers though, you're just gonna have to like this video and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss anything. And if you really like the channel, you can now buy me a coffee or 5 via the link in the description box for buy me a coffee. It'll really help me out because vlogs take up a lot of my time and I love doing them, but it gets shoved to the end of my to-do list because it doesn't earn me any money. Now who's ready for some news? To start off the news and the summer, unfortunately a bit of a sad story for those of you who haven't heard yet, although how? The internationally acclaimed mezzo-soprano Teresa Berganza died on May 13th at the age of 89. I first encountered Teresa Berganza when I stumbled across her movie recording of Una Voce Poco Fa on YouTube when I was a little baby soprano wandering around on YouTube looking for just some inspiration. I literally could not stop cringing at the fact that this opera is in movie form because don't even get me started, they're all terrible. But she, the singer, is clearly awesome. Her interpretation was described as the Carmen of the century, while she herself found a really special kindredship with Mozart. She recorded a ton of Mozart as well as Rossini, countless recitals. Honestly, there is more than enough to choose from. I'll link a lot of my favorites in the description box so that you guys can go check her out. And if you've never heard of her and need some extra convincing for some reason, then know that she shared the stage with Maria Callas, Luciano Pavarotti, John Vickers, Joan Sutherland, Mirella Freni, the list goes on and on and on, just all of the greats, because she herself was one of the greats. Honestly, you read all these names that they all performed together, just all the legends that I'll never get to hear live. I was not alive when they were performing, and it breaks my heart, to be quite honest. Like, I just wish I'd been born in the 50s or something so that I could hear, you know, Callas and Pavarotti and just hear all these people live, to know exactly what it felt like and what it sounded like to be in the theater when they were just ripping it up. I will keep all of the 21st century advances for women though, thank you. Oh, I don't have my microphone. Oh my God. Ah! Okay, take 2, I guess, on this. Jesus Christ. I got my microphone. Well, that's what happens when you take a summer off, okay? It's just that's how it goes, but we remembered, so we're here now, so.
I don't know why it's coming out all loud and squeaky, because really, I'm fine.
Also coming out of the main news, a story that made me go, what the literal fuck? For this story, you're gonna need your lederhosen and a pull of beer because we're going all the way to Germany, and specifically Hamburg, where, just for your reference, the people who live there are called hamburgers. And it's my favorite thing in the entire world. What am I, a Houstonian? Or an Amsterdammer. Just gorgeous. So in Hamburg, where the richest man in all of Germany with a net worth of $36 billion, one Herr Klaus Michael Kühne, has made it known to Der Spiegel, one of the biggest newspapers in Germany. It's basically like the New York Times kind of in Germany, that he would like to buy a new opera house for Hamburg because he doesn't like the one that's currently there. He doesn't like it. This is the opera house for your reference. He says the house lacks charisma. Hamburg deserves better. The building is contaminated with asbestos. The acoustics are inadequate and the standard is average. Okay, there's a couple things that I just like to address with this. First of all, if the building has asbestos in it, I feel like the government should be paying for it because that shit is dangerous.
That's what she said.
Secondly, the standard as in like the singers, because that's a different problem, my friend. That's not a building architecture problem. That's like administrative casting problem. So honestly, it's this type of stuff that makes me realize that some people have absolutely way too much money. And I'm over here going bankrupt after Lufthansa freaking lost my bag and I have to pay for all this shit. Not bitter about it. They're going to pay me back, allegedly. He literally was like, no, I don't like this building. Please, I will pay for a new one. I will pay. But I do appreciate his musical taste. I mean, there are way worse things that he could offer to pay for. So I will link the article below in case you want to read it for yourself and brush up on your German in the meantime. Unfortunately, besides the few rogue billionaires roaming around offering to pay for new opera houses that offer very strange yet amusing forms of entertainment here on OperaAmerica, the rest of this summer got really dark and really depressing. So buckle up. To start off, the Instagram account at House of Schmize posted this summer leaked screenshots of an email thread coming out of a professional development listserv on the OperaAmerica forum. In this email thread between different program directors and administrators in the opera world, incredibly offensive views of young marginalized singers were expressed, views about young singers sticking up for themselves being interpreted as them having a quote-unquote attitude. These emails mentioned multiple things, including the use of special pronouns that were being demanded of the program directors, and that they were feared of being canceled should they not use them. Even going so far as to say that young singers these days consider themselves to be entitled to respect from everyone without first having done anything to earn that respect. I won't get into the exact language of these emails because you can read them for yourself via the link in the description box below, but suffice it to say that the language and rhetoric of these emails just made it perfectly clear how little respect the directors have for the singers that they have hired to represent their company in different productions, and immediately declared those singers stuck up and entitled for having the audacity to stick up for themselves and most probably their own artistry.
You're shocked?
Listen, this is from the professional development listserv, and if your idea of professional development is referring to your potential and possibly current employees as quote-unquote children and not respecting them enough to make them try to feel as comfortable as possible in a very vulnerable situation, this very vulnerable work that we do, auditioning and performing, and B, simply refusing to respect them because they're human beings and not because they have to earn your respect, goodbye. Absolutely not. The use of special pronouns and being asked to use them was cited specifically in one of the emails. And to this, I just have to say, firstly, apparently this was the last email to be sent out. And the thread actually stopped after that because the recipients of this email were apparently uncomfortable with what had been stated in this email. But it was already bad before that. Like, we were just on the way there. It wasn't that it was great. And secondly, listen, I get it. It can be confusing. Our use of a very common pronoun in everyday speech changed very quickly due to the rise of gender neutral pronoun. But y'all out here acting like we've never seen words change meaning before. Deadass. Sheesh. Honestly. And I'm not trying to say that the use of pronouns is akin to like slang, but this is how language changes. Society changes and language follows to reflect the society. And while that may be besides the point, it's kind of heartbreaking to know that the people running the opera industry, the people making the hires, the people basically in charge of what the audience sees, don't have the time of day, much less the decency to make us, the singers, the people that the audience pays to come see, feel just that much more comfortable so that we can in turn do our best and bring a better product to the public. I will never understand. I just will never understand how directors or conductors can act so against their own interests. It's just mind-boggling. It happens in more ways than one in the industry, and it blows my mind. I just don't get it. OperaAmerica followed up to these leaked emails with an apology letter and reiterating that the views expressed on the listserv, or any listserv for that matter, are not representative of the views of the companies. Stephanie Svornik, the writer of the final email in which the most hurtful and transphobic comments were expressed, has been removed from the listserv altogether. And OperaAmerica has since held webinars and roundtables to address the issue of gender inclusivity. There is also one coming up on September 28th, which I will definitely be attending. I will also put the link for you down in the description box of that. It is on YouTube, and I'm sure there will be a recording, even if this goes up after September 28th, which it might. So that was a lot. And while I wish I could end the news here, even though that was really not a bright note of the summer, I do unfortunately once again have to bring up my favorite, not so favorite soprano, Anna Netrebko. You knew it was coming. You freaking knew it was coming. I swear to God. She has shown up in every single episode of the OperaNews segment. It's crazy how often she comes up. All right. So I was in San Diego when this happened, and suffice it to say that I was just as shocked as literally the entire rest of the company, because this shit is ridiculous. It is such a blatantly disrespectful and racist action on Anna Netrebko's part. It seemed almost purposeful, as if she was trying to stir the pot, which, like, listen, as much as I know from her, I feel like she would do it. In August, Netrebko posted this photo of herself in full costume and full makeup for her upcoming production of Aida at the Arena di Verona. Notice anything weird about this picture? Maybe a little liberal use of the makeup, because she's in blackface. I swear, you guys. Netrebko defended herself, saying, "Everywhere in the world used to be blackface. I will not be a white Aida." Good, get off the stage. The singer faced instantaneous backlash from the opera world, and soprano Angel Joy Blue, slated to sing Violetta in the Arena's production of La Traviata later in the summer, pulled out because of the Arena's allowing this to happen. The theater, in turn, responded by saying that the production is historical and therefore it's very difficult to change different aspects of it. What? Verona, literally nothing would change about this production if she weren't in blackface. Literally nothing. The story doesn't crumble. Our suspension of disbelief can stretch that far. Really, it can. We're intelligent people for the most part. And as for blackface being a tradition in opera, well, I guess we're fine bringing back the castrati, yeah? It's tradition. What are you talking about? Who needs countertenor? Bring me a pair of scissors. Come on. Let's go. Tradition. What are you talking about? Get out of here. Ridiculous. No wonder her return to Vienna was protested in the literal fucking streets. They protested her, you guys. I told you this summer was chaos. It was chaos. Are we having fun in the first episode of OperaNews? I apologize if it's a bit of a Debbie Downer. So I'm really grateful if anyone is still here. Leave me an emoji of a barbershop sign if you're still here and if you understand why I'm asking you that. Also, this is your friendly neighborhood reminder to subscribe. Thank you. Moving on. And as a thank you for making it this far and to make sure that you go away smiling and not with the memory of that last story in your head, the day on which I wrote this script was September 16th, which is 45 years to the day on which Maria Callas died at the age of 53. And while that might not be like the happiest thing to remember, she makes me really happy to remember. So to see us out, her signature aria, which in my humble opinion, no one can sing better. I literally just have Callas's version in my head as I'm listening to someone else's, and it's really not fair, but you know, it is what it is. I will leave you with her studio recording of Casta Diva from Norma. Thank you so much for watching. Leave me a comment telling me what you thought about this literal summer of chaos. Let me know what you're currently listening to. Like the video, subscribe, follow us on Instagram at opera.anna, and thank you for joining me to Opera Up Your Life. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a brand new aria explained. Adios.